Well, I suppose 7 and 9 going at it was a nice break from the Coalition and Labor going at it in the Parliament, and that's what it was this week, wasn't it?
It was a bit, yeah. I think, we got a bit of an insight, I guess, into how these programs operate and the idea of money being paid for interviews, which we know about already, but, it was all a bit unsavoury seeing the insides of these kinds of negotiations. It's a bit curious, this woman's change of her story, I have to say. I'm a bit puzzled by what the actual motivation was in the end, whether it was, oh no, I'm going to bring down the government, I've suddenly changed my mind, or whether she genuinely became unsure. But either way, yes, we're seeing a huge battle between 7 and 9 played out here, and I think what we'll now see is I don't see Channel 9 being any more reluctant or any less enthusiastic to pursue the story. If anything, it's probably the reverse.
Yeah, but the possibility here is that people have completely stopped listening on this issue, and I say hallelujah to that. I mean, the economist in me wonders whether the bidding war between A Current Affair and Today Tonight is actually going to drive GDP up again in the June quarter, because quite extraordinary sums have been transacted here.
Well, they weren't transacted; they were promised. Yes.
Look, I think this is all very prurient, this sort of thing. But the reality, or at least the reality, is found in the Fair Work Australia report, is that hundreds of thousands of dollars of the lowest paid union members' money was rorted. Now, whether a couple of grand or maybe was ripped off for the purposes of prostitutes or hookers or whores or whatever, is fairly immaterial to the fact that there's a chunk, a sizable and impressive chunk of union members' money. And this is a Labor government, and they're relying on a bloke who, according to Fair Work Australia's own report, has been involved in this. And I think that this is absolutely immoral.
Well, he's in the Parliament, Piers, and he gets to vote while he's in the Parliament, and until such time as he's removed from the Parliament through proceedings, if that ever happens, he gets to stay there and he gets to vote.
We have seen leaders of political parties in the past say, I'm not going to take that vote.
But you can't do that. You can't say, I'm not going to take that vote. We saw the ridiculousness of the attempt to not take that vote the other day in the Parliament. Well, we did,
and we saw the ridiculous...
Bolt for the doors.
That's right, and we saw the, you call it ridiculousness, we saw how much money the Labor Party has paid to keep Craig Thomson in Parliament by fending off the bankruptcy.
Indeed, we have seen that.
So essentially, we have an immoral party
and any political
buying
I think any political party would have done precisely the same if the government depended on it.
That's easy to say. It's easy to say.
And easy to do, as it turned out.
Well, it's expensive to do.
Yeah, $30,000, $300,000.
$300,000.
Yeah, expensive to do.
Maybe you're overpaid, Barry.